for like this whole year, there's just been an uptick in people just constantly messaging me and telling me I'm not funny and blah, 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 and stuff like that. And so like the way I attacked it today was, hey, if you don't think I'm funny, telling me to quit comedy is not going to help.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing this for 17 years. I don't know how to do anything else. If you want me to quit comedy, make me so successful that I'm like, I don't really want to go out anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that.
This is the Bill Squire Show.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
So you know all the words.
Yes.
You're the only person I think I've ever met that can play harmonica.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen one.
Can you play anything else?
I can like improv around stuff. Like if you had a guitar and you're like play something in C, I can come up with a like.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Now hit him in. All right, now hold it in your mouth. Just like hold it in your mouth. And then Tommy, hit him on the elbow with your microphone. Like harder though, like so it hurts him. Till it hurts him.
Can we keep going?
Yeah, till it's...
Oh, all right, okay.
You're supposed to breathe and then that. Use the harmonica to...
Yeah, I'm not when I get hit. I don't like breathe. I'm like ah. Ah.
Oh, I like that. Anyway, hey, welcome to the Bill Squire Show. I am your host, Bill Squire.
What just
Here with Tommy, LC, TOMMILC.
Yes.
Follow her on OnlyFans. And AJ DeCosmo, who's new to Instagram, and he's been killing it on there.
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, you're doing great on there. You're very
If you
good
like Twitter, you'll like his Instagram.
Yeah. It's the same.
Well, the thing is, yeah, like if you don't go on Twitter, there's a lot of people that are like exclusive to one.
Right.
So
yeah.
like it's good to get that exposure on both. And it's
Oh,
weird, like
definitely.
because I'll post stuff on Twitter and it gets like nothing, but it gets like a bunch
noticed
of
the same
shares.
thing.
Oh yeah, it's
Get a bunch of shares on Instagram. and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
noticed
that.
the same thing.
Before we go any further, speaking of Instagram, one of my favorite Instagram accounts is Good Meal Jane.
I knew that was
I
coming.
had a feeling.
Yes, Good Meal Jane, which is just incredible pizza, and they are a sponsor of this podcast. But they're a sponsor of this podcast because they are incredible pizza, not because I was like, man, I need a sponsor. It just worked out that way. It was simpatico.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's very Mediterranean of you.
Do you remember the phone number, AJ?
1-888.
Yeah.
2.
Nope.
It's 4.
I think you were right on the last episode. So we
That's
just said,
what I said.
I was right. Hold on, Costanza.
Costanza. That's right. I knew I was right.
888-4-PIZZA-2. Call, and they sell 100 pizzas a day right now because it's a small business, and they do everything fresh in the kitchen. That's what makes the pizza so good. So you call between the hours of 1 and 8 p.m., and then if they run out, they run out. You'll have to try again tomorrow. So you call 888-4-PIZZA-2, or you go to Good Meal Jane on Instagram or the description of this episode to get the link to order online.
And what's the number, Bill?
888-4-PIZZA-2.
Or could we just run it back last week when I got it right?
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you for being right.
Thank you.
That's all you ever needed.
That's all I ever wanted.
Also, if you don't listen to the Alan Cox Show and you listen to this show, I find that weird. But there probably are some people that listen that way.
I think there are.
Yeah, so if you have never checked out the Alan Cox Show, make sure you check that out because I got chewed out on the air on Monday. Because Alan, he's like, well, he's more doing it to Pound Kick, and he's like, Bill, don't you cross-promote on the show? I'm like, I mentioned your show, but I don't cross-promote it, but I absolutely will. You're right. I should have been doing that the whole time. So if you need more podcasts to listen to, the Alan Cox Show has a live show every single day from 2 to 6:30 p.m. that you can listen to on 100.7 WMMS, but you're like, oh, I'm not in Cleveland. Well, you can listen on the iHeartRadio app live, or you can watch on YouTube live, or you can listen to the podcast whenever you want. So there's lots of ways to enjoy the Alan Cox Show.
It's a good
So
show.
good, yeah.
It's a very
Although
enjoyable
I
show.
just got, I was like, oh, you got chewed out.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh,
Well,
yeah.
Clearly behind on.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys gotta dig into that because I had to come clean. I couldn't be like, yeah, I've been because the listeners,
he
the
would've
listeners
went back?
Oh, they would totally rat on
wouldn't,
you.
but the listeners would. They'd be like,
Yeah.
Bill doesn't fucking do that either because he asked Pound Cake if he does it, and he's like, oh no, Pound Cake doesn't do that, and so I had to be like, yeah, I mentioned the show, but you're right, I should have been mentioning it because we do have quite a few listeners that are not from the Alan Cox Show.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
a good
for
point.
sure.
So we should do that cross.
I do listen, though. I do listen because I'll message you sometimes
Right.
when you're
Well,
talking about something.
That's the difference between a radio show and a podcast. With podcasts, a lot of people listen to every episode all the way through.
Right.
When you're doing a radio show that's 4.5 hours long every single weekday, that's a lot of content. And there are people that go through all of it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the fuck out of them, but I don't expect anybody to. Because even sometimes I'm like, yeah.
When I was younger, I listened to Maxwell all the way through.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that name?
I mean, you're allowed to, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was actually on good terms with him, so like,
Oh, okay.
like I was okay with him, and then like when Alan got on, I'm like, oh, this guy's good too. So it was like, I actually saw Maxwell at a magic act at the Palace Theater.
Oh, cool.
And so like he's like, hey, Bill, what are you doing? And like we're on good terms. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've never had any real beef with Maxwell. There's people that have. I'm not one of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm not either.
Yeah.
'Cause
Me
I
neither.
didn't know him.
At all.
All right. So yeah, those are those things. And what else should we talk? Oh, my new album. I'm trying to think of all the things I got to plug before we get. Yeah, everybody loves listening to a podcast and hearing plugs right off the bat. It's their favorite thing. But I feel like we make our plugs way more interesting than most places because it's not just like reading; it's like actually conversational.
Right.
Like our Good Meal Jane ones are.
They're
They're
fun.
pretty legendary. Yeah. I think they're pretty good.
Intense.
They are intense. They you never know where it's gonna go. The cross promote with the Alan Cox Show is important. And then I have an album coming out that is now available for pre-order. So I'd really appreciate if anybody listening to this could pre-order it on iTunes or Amazon or Bandcamp. There's links in the profile of my Instagram to get you to any of those things, or you just go to any of those websites and search Bill Squire Bam Bam. And I expect both of you already pre-ordered it and on multiple platforms, correct?
All of the platforms.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Well, I have a special guest this week, and it is a man with a lie detector test.
Oh, really?
And yeah, we're going to make it
Ooh.
Maury this week, so we will see
Do
for
it.
sure if you
All right.
guys ordered on all the platforms like you just said you did.
Bill, I have to confess something to you.
Okay.
I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
I
Well,
also was there.
yes.
I saw it live, but I'm
I
going to
also
support
did,
my
yeah.
friend.
Right, yes, but that's not
Yeah.
the point. The point is, yes, you saw it live, but also I don't get that much money from that. I need the
gotta-
sales.
Sale money.
We have
Yeah.
to order it.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Pre-order it.
It's $10.
That's so
it.
inexpensive.
That's- inexpensive.
That's just as much money as 1 month of your
I'm seeing Tommy's
OnlyFans.
tits.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Choose one.
No, choose
No,
both.
no, choose
You
both,
got
choose
$20.
both.
Payday this comes out on Friday. It
I
might
don't
be
know.
your
People are
payday.
cheap.
I
Yeah,
I
people
have
are cheap. I know.
I have nothing
Yeah.
that people can donate $10 to.
Not yet, but you will.
Maybe,
But
We'll know.
I mean, with your Collider articles coming up, then we can
Ooh.
definitely.
yeah. We'll see.
once
but
those
once
start-
again, I don't want to get the cart ahead of the horse. There.
Right, but like once you have those to promote, but also you can search AJ, and he's got links to some articles because they're pretty evergreen articles that you've
Yeah.
written for like the New Yorker and He's So Funny or whatever that website is.
Weekly humorist.
Yeah, that's it.
He's so funny.
I want to go to that he'ssofunny.com.
That's
I wanna
right.
know what it is.
So pre-order my album on any of those platforms, and then you can also listen to a preview track if you have like Spotify or Apple Music or stuff like that, and you can give that as many listens as you want. Like if you want to save money, if you listen to the preview track, which is called Lessons and Preferences, 1,500 times, that's the same as one album sale.
We should just do that.
Yeah. No, I would like all of the jokes.
Well, you'll get that, but eventually you can listen to.
Okay.
But listen to each track 1,500 times, and then it's like boom, a bunch of album sales.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
So there's lots of ways you can support. So
put on when I go to sleep at night.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
One thing that people. Well, I told this story on the Alan Cox Show, which you should listen to. But my mom on Tuesday, I was down in Medina doing like a little car switcheroo because mine was in a shop down there and I was borrowing hers, and I was like, did you pre-order my album? And my mom didn't even have the decency to lie to me like AJ did.
Oh, wow.
She just goes, huh, no.
You named it kind of after, like in honor
of her. And then we were talking about this family friend, and she told me one of the kids' names, and it was spelled all funky. And I'm like, oh, like my joke where you spell the names all willy-nilly. And she's like, oh, yeah, did people laugh at that joke? I'm like, you were at the fucking recording. Yeah, they laughed at
This is a family friend?
Well, no, that's what
was
my
your
mom said.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, God damn it, lady.
Oh, my gosh.
But she doesn't even realize what she's saying. Because she's like, my mom doesn't even listen to music. Like, she's not all that into entertainment, I guess.
Yeah.
What does she do?
She drives around and spends time like doing work for my dad and trying to win contests. She likes winning contests.
What kind,
calling into radio stations?
She isn't so much that. She likes doing like online ones now, but she used to call into stations a lot back in the day. And she's like won a bunch of stuff too. Like she won this big like grandfather clock. Like like it's fucking nice. It was like she was always very proud. Like that was like the thing she was most proud of in our home. Like we had a nice house, and she'd be like,
no history to the clock.
no, except that she won it, and that's what made her so happy about it. So like when people would come over and they'd be like, "That's a nice clock," and she goes, "I won it.
I won this clock."
And because she's Mormon, she's not allowed to like gamble or anything like that. It's against their religion. So this is how she gets those jollies.
That's like kind of gambling.
Well,
I feel.
but
she's not putting anything.
She's not putting anything
Okay,
up.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like it's the same rush because she enters so many different
So
contests.
she can't play like buy lottery tickets.
No,
Okay.
no, she won't do anything like that. She'll only do free to enter contests.
I know your parent. Who's the more Mormon one between your mom?
My
and your
dad, by
Your
a lot.
dad,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Although there's certain things about each of them that are super Mormon.
Like, does your mom ever go like, "Yeah, I know that's like a super Mormon thing to do, but I'm not gonna do that."
No, they both are. I mean, they're both pretty on par with each other.
Oh, okay.
But my dad just lives like day to day. Like so she drives around and doesn't listen to anything. My dad listens to like church leaders talk, like
Oh, wow.
like speeches that they gave at like church services and stuff like that on a loop, just again and again and again.
They don't even listen to her son.
Well, I don't.
What's worse, the fact that you are on the listen?
Well, that's the only thing that she does listen to. Like she'll listen to the radio when I'm on.
Oh, okay.
and then
But
that's
that-
when
but
she'll
that's
text
every
me.
day.
Right? But she's not always in the car at that time. So if she's in the
okay.
car, she'll listen to the radio show when she's driving around, and then she'll hear something, and I'll get a text from her, and she's like,
Are they proud of you? Mm-hmm. That you're on the radio and stuff.
They're proud of me that I am not dead and that I'm making a living.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
that's what in that way they're proud of me. They don't necessarily love how I do it because a lot of the stuff that I say on the radio is not in line with what they believe.
Yeah.
So it's a slippery. They're still very supportive at the same time, but just like when I asked her, she pre-ordered, and honestly, it was also like 10 o'clock in the morning. Like I'm like. Not many people wake up like me and be like, "It's exciting." Like they're not going to have that kind of excitement. But her response was funny to me. And then I explained this on the radio, and people are like, "Oh, you seem pretty upset about it." I'm like, "I am upset about it, but also like, what are you going to do?" And then I'm like, and then I've been getting a lot of people for like this whole year. There's just been an uptick in people just constantly messaging me and telling me I'm not funny and blah 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 and stuff like that. And so, like, the way I attacked it today was, hey, if you don't think I'm funny, telling me to quit comedy is not going to help.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing this for 17 years. I don't know how to do anything else. If you want me to quit comedy, make me so successful that I'm like, I don't really want to go out anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have to do this anymore.
And so I tweeted that, and then a bunch of people were like, "Hey, man, we support you." I'm like, I'm not needing you guys to support. I'm trying to make a joke, and it came across as whiny, and it's not whiny. It's me just being like, yeah, if you don't like me, the only way you can really get me to stop is by buying all the stuff that I do.
Make you a millionaire.
Yeah, make me like multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Do you gamble?
Not really. It's not really exciting to me because I just focus on the loss, and I think gamblers are more.
They're hungry for
I'm the
the
same
win.
way. I'm very like I like scratch offs, but I wouldn't like to go like gamble. Like,
Well, the way that I kind of gamble is shoes. So like I like that rush of like if I get a shoe on like a release day, like that's exciting to me. Like I enjoy that rush.
kind of like a race. Like,
Yeah.
For
Well, it's because a lot of them are like raffles and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
And then there's some shoes where it's like I won because I wanted my collection, and some shoes I'm like, well, this one, I might just hang on to a while and then sell it because it's going to go up in value and be worth triple what I paid for it.
Has that happened yet?
A couple times.
Yeah.
Yep. The
Because
first
you haven't
one,
been doing this that long.
right? I know, and like the first one, like 2019, the first one that I hit on was like a really hard to get shoe, and I got it, and I bought it for $200 and sold it for $700.
Oh,
Wow, look at you.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I would never pay $700 for shoes.
Right, but some people will, and so I'll take advantage of that. Because
Blows
even
my
like
mind.
the most I've ever paid for a shoe is like $500.
500. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I'm real bad.
I'm cheap.
Well, I know, but they're also like that's.
Hell yeah, Bill's like, I know.
I know.
I know you're
like,
cheap.
no, I know that's how most people feel about shoes, but like they like for that particular shoe, I was actually kind of getting a deal.
Yeah.
And also it wasn't like really paying $500 because what I had done was
just going into
like
selling it?
traded another shoe for it to like take some of that because I do a lot of that because that's why I'll buy multiple pairs of shoes that are easier to get because then I can use them for trading later.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a quick little break, get AJ's phone, and then we'll start telling some jokes. All right, AJ's going first this week. Let's go.
All right. Smallville actress Allison Mack was sentenced to 3 years in prison today for her role in the Nexium sex cult. The judge said, "This is America. We can't have too many famous sex offenders in prison at once, so we're going to have her serve out the rest of Bill Cosby's sentence."
All right, and here's my Bill Cosby joke. Bill Cosby has been released from prison after the Supreme Court ruled he's richer than he is black.
Oh. Wow. I didn't know we were starting out with haymakers.
That's what I said. I wanted to
Wow.
bring some heat.
Man, I can't believe they released him today.
See, I didn't hear that.
you
This
didn't
is
hear
the
that?
first time I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
It's too busy
Yeah.
day at work.
And so, and like people, like I was at the office. We were off today, but I was in the office recording some stuff, and
What
I heard it in the
office?
hallway, the Alan Cox show.
Oh, okay.
Like
Cool.
I was at work.
Yeah.
And recorded some stuff, and so in the hallways we'll hear like the right wing people on the radio, and it happened, and so breaking news is happening, and the like new afternoon or like midday show that's on replacing Rush was like, oh, Bill Cosby is part of the Me Too movement, and he's released. Obviously, this exonerates him, and it's like, no, it's not a situation where he's exonerated. He had an agreement where he admitted to the stuff. And they said that, oh, we won't send you to jail. And so that it's totally a fucking loophole.
Yeah.
Like, it's not anything that exonerates him whatsoever. It's literally him saying, yeah, I drugged this woman in a deposition. And him admitting to it was, he said he'd admit to it if it meant he wouldn't go to jail. And like,
So unethical.
yeah, our system's fucked.
Yes.
It's a terrible system.
Fucked, yeah.
And it's like, that's been around for a while. And like I don't know why it just came out today. I didn't read that much into it, but basically, he's a rich person that said, "Get me out of here somehow."
Yeah.
So I don't know how, logical all that was.
I didn't like Cosby before all this shit.
Really?
I didn't think he was funny. I never
fucking
thought he was
loved him.
funny.
I loved him.
I know that makes me weird. I know a lot of
Not
people.
necessarily.
He was pretty dark, right? Outside of his comedy, was his comedy dark?
No, his comedy's real clean and like
Yeah.
family friendly.
Yeah, he was America's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember what kids say the darndest things.
Yeah, stuff like
One of the
that.
Q
Like,
shows. Yeah.
I'm like the weird one. I never bought it I'm just like, I don't buy this fucking.
You knew.
I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna go that far to say I knew there was something.
What was there to
on.
buy? Like he was just telling stories. It was just
But
stories.
but it wasn't. There was something always about him where I'm just like, I don't believe you're as wholesome as you're coming across.
How do you feel about Mr. Rogers? Do you think he's
Mr.
truly?
I mean, Mr. Rogers has blood on his hands, dude. He was in war.
You know that was not a true thing, right?
No?
Is that not a true thing?
Yeah.
How do you know that that's not a true thing?
Because when he died, people kept saying that, and so I did research and found out it's not a true thing.
All right. Well, I bought Mr. Rogers.
Okay, yeah, you believed him.
There's a lot of people that would go around and like say that, but it was just a juxtaposition thing where it's like, this guy is so nice, but he was actually when there's a similar things about Bob Ross.
No, but right, but I mean,
Yeah.
Fred Rogers served in the military.
Right, but he wasn't like
But
stone cold. But they portray
No,
him
I'm
as
not
a stone
saying-
cold sniper.
No. I wasn't.
like, yeah.
It wasn't. I'm saying all I was saying was he saw war.
Okay, well
Yeah,
he
that's
did
all
see
I
war.
was
All right.
saying.
So yeah,
He's so defensive over Mr.
They're
Rogers?
so
Yeah.
that's different than like the people saying like there's like he was one of the top killers.
See,
for,
I've
yeah.
never heard that.
Okay, I've heard.
I just knew that he served and
Yeah.
he saw some shit.
Yeah.
So it was just like I can tell like that there was honesty behind Fred Rogers, whereas Cosby.
And honestly, probably an origin for it. Well, Cosby served. He was in. Was he in World War II?
No, he's too young to have served in World War II. I think
Because
maybe he was in Korea.
he tells a story about it.
Maybe he was in Korea, but no, I think part of my opinion towards Bill Cosby is influenced by how
1956
was by how he treated Eddie Murphy.
Korean War. So he was in the Korean War. Yeah, and that's the
That's
thing.
kind of my thing. I'm just like, why are you like?
But he does
This
a
doesn't make
bit
sense.
about talking about like storming the beaches in Korea, and like, he was a medic, and so everybody, he's got the story about he's like, me and the guys were sitting around, we're watching the war, we're having a good time, and then this one guy he wants to be a hero, and he just, he's like, I wanted to be a medic because then I don't have to shoot anybody, and then they go, okay, well, take your medic stuff off because that's who they aim for. Because if you can't help anybody, that's a good thing for them.
Yeah,
So then he's like, God damn. He doesn't even say God damn, but like, and then he's like, we're all watching the war. And then this one guy gets a head of steam. He's like, I gotta get out there. And he runs and then boom, boom, shot. Medic! And he's like, man, I'm just trying to watch the war. And just, I think he's an expert storyteller. And I saw him like the same, like the year that the Hannibal Buress clip came out. I saw him earlier that year.
He had a special come out that year on Comedy Central.
Yeah, I loved it.
And I remember watching it going like, I just can't do it.
But that's the thing that's so weird about comedies. It's so subjective.
It is,
There's so many
yeah.
people that I'm like, I understand why other people love this. It just doesn't resonate with me. But the thing that I never do is if someone isn't enjoyable to me is follow their career and like try and tear them down, which is what a lot of people do.
That is
where they go, okay, I don't think this guy's funny, but I got to make sure he knows I don't think he's funny. And I'm like, what? Such a weird way to live your life. Like then go find the person that is funny and talk
Support
to them.
them,
Support
yeah.
them. Like there's so many. There's never been more options.
I think I don't think that's the case here with Bill Cosby though.
That's a very different situation.
Yeah, that is
but
a very
again,
different
like,
situation.
even you not like liking him, it's not like you.
Oh, I wasn't like trolling Cosby.
Right, you're not like
the dude that I guess my monster that I'm a fan. I do draw a lot of influence from Woody.
Woody Allen.
Yeah. I like Woody Allen's comedy. He's also a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about Woody before. I don't think you were here, but we did talk about Woody.
Yeah, he's pretty gross.
Yeah.
But,
I guess
nobody enjoys Father's Day like him, though.
Yeah, that's right. I guess we all have a monster who influenced us.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Cosby, Louis C.K. Like I have
Yeah.
all these people that I'm like, man, they're really funny, and then I'm like, God damn, they keep
Why do you gotta
dropping like
suck?
flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's I'm not able to separate in comedy especially. Like I can't enjoy Cosby anymore. I can't really enjoy Louis.
Well-
C.K.
You can't separate
anymore.
the art from the artist.
Like, and I tried. Like I
Yeah.
thought I could, and then I went and saw Louis C.K. Like I was like, I'm like, I think I can be okay with this. And it wasn't necessarily him that made me upset as much as the way that people cheered for certain aspects of his show that weren't funny and were more setups, but they were like, yeah, like we just want to hear something controversial.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because it was funny, it's because they agreed with it. So I'm like, I don't want to be part of this crowd. It's not
Right.
making me laugh anymore. And so like I still think he is a brilliant comic, and I don't judge people for going to see Louis, but I just can't do it.
Cosby is one thing because what you found.
Well, Cosby's like hands down, like no fucking way he's ever getting another dollar or like even
sure.
an eyeball from me.
Yeah.
Well, Cosby, it's just like you definitely can't separate the man from the artist there because his entire art was dependent upon being this man who was always
wholesome
on the
man,
side
yeah.
of the moral, always had the moral high
Right.
ground.
Yeah.
Whereas, see, like it's weird. So when I look at Woody and I want to write something, I go like, how does Woody construct a joke? It's not necessarily the subject matter.
Right.
I'm like, Woody was probably one of the best to ever write a joke. He's one of the best to ever do it. I can't really separate the man from the art because the man's art was based on the man.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, I can't watch Manhattan anymore because I'm just like, it's about a fucking 40-year-old going after a 17-year-old. Like,
Right.
this is,
I couldn't watch it in the first place because I just thought it was so goddamn boring.
oh, really?
I liked Annie Hall, and
Yeah, Annie Hall's great.
That was really the only one that I thought was good.
Yeah.
But even then, it was like a one watch. Like it had no replay value to me. So like I was never like a huge Woody Allen guy.
Yeah.
Tommy, do you have any people like that were canceled that you used to be huge fans of?
Morrissey.
Morrissey?
Yeah.
he's a
racist
douche.
fuck.
I still like the Smiths.
Yes, I love the
They're
Smiths.
one of my
and,
favorite
yeah.
bands, yeah.
And then like J.K. Rowling with
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
Harry
yeah.
Potter. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
I am just getting through finally because they're on. Oh my god, are they coming?
They're on HBO.
They're on HBO till tonight, so I have to
they're
watch.
gonna be going away.
Yeah.
Damn it! I've watched them like every night since they came on.
I watched. So I just finished Deathly Hallows 1.
Yeah.
So I have to watch Deathly Hallows 2 tonight when this show's
Yeah.
over because they're going away. But I think they're also on like Peacock or
They're on
something.
Peacock.
Probably, yeah.
So I think I'll be all right because I think I have that too.
Yeah.
But I might have to watch it with ads or something. But yeah, J.K. Rowling, that was a
She's
weird
a big one. Yeah, she's a big
Because
one
like
for
what
me.
I never even really understood the controversy with her. I know it was like transphobic.
Yeah,
But, like,
yeah,
but is it like active transphobia or was it just trying to explain something?
It
I don't
was
know.
like trans people shouldn't have the same rights as other people.
Okay,
and
well,
they're
that's
not
fucked, yeah.
real women, real men kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
So,
she
yeah.
said something like real women, men straight.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or something like that.
Yeah, but there's been a couple times that she
But
said some.
I don't get why people are so hung up on that. Like to just like my son. If you met him and didn't know he was trans, both of you would be like, "Oh, he's a handsome young man." Like there's
Yeah.
nothing about that, and that's because he had a lot of support, and we were able to. But even then, like, it doesn't hurt anybody to support them and be like, "Oh, you feel like you're a man? Let's do that."
Right.
Like we went to used to go to a trans support group, and just seeing how happy because like these men that would go there, you know, it'd be like kids and it'd be men and women and you know, people going through transition, all these different things. But these men that were just recently transitioning were so thrilled to finally just wear the clothes that they feel like they should be wearing and have their hair the way that they feel that it should be. And it was just people that were on the edge, just on the brink of like self-destruction, finally feeling comfortable to just be who they are. And I'm like, that's so wonderful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And why are people so afraid of that? And that's why usually the people that are so against it or speak out against it, they just don't put themselves, they don't have the empathy to put themselves in that situation and say, like, how would I want to be talked about and be treated in this situation? Right. And like, Justin Peterson or something like that, he'd be like, well, this is like, yes, we can do the science of it all day, but something that sets us apart is we're humans, and we're not just science. We are humans with feelings and emotion. Right. So we can drill down and say the science, and it can be whatever it is. But when it comes to someone's like just personality and how they feel, that counts for something too. And that also is something that we haven't figured out yet. So to just definitively say, like, if you're born a man, that, there's two genders, all that stuff, it just, it seems so obtuse to exclude the fact that there is some sort of what's that called?
Spectrum
of gender, of sexuality, whatever it is.
I don't know why it needs to be black and white. Like, I don't get what does it matter?
Can you repeat that? I lost you at Morrissey.
Oh.
I was just kind of like,
just do a joke.
No, but I agree with everything you said.
That's right, you do. Because
you
I'm
better,
your boss.
better.
No, I mean I'm on everyone's side. I'm doing a jokey.
You want me to go?
No.
Okay.
A boy was bitten by a shark at Boy Scouts camp, making that hands down the second worst thing that could happen to a child at Boy Scouts camp.
I was in the Boy Scouts and like taught me things. People don't know that I know how to do things. Like I can tie knots.
What?
Because I was
you
a Boy
can
Scout.
tie
I
knots?
can tie knots. Yeah, I'm good at it.
He's growing up.
No Velcro shoes?
No Velcro shoes. But I mean, like, I know a bunch of like different styles of like lashings and things like that.
Okay.
I can like start
you do
a fire.
shibari probably.
Yeah,
Oh.
I've done it with some ladies.
Huh?
Yeah.
Whoa!
I can start a fire without a match. Like I know like wilderness survival skills. I can testify against an adult in open court because of the Boy Scouts.
I have absolutely no survival skills whatsoever.
I don't want them. I don't plan on using them. Like if it gets to a situation where the shit hits the fan and like I'm just like checking out.
We live in a civilization now where if you need your survival skills, you fucked up at some point.
100%.
Yeah. There's no need for any of those things.
I would not.
Where was this Boy Scout camp at that he got bit by a shark?
I don't know. I saw the headline and I was like, oh yeah, that's the second worst thing that can happen to you at Boy Scouts.
Yes, he was swimming away from a Boy Scout leader.
That's right. A boisterous Boy Scout leader.
All right. The NCAA has ruled that starting July 1st, college athletes can make money off their names and likeness. In related news, LeBron James has finally decided to go to college.
Is he going to keep the Hummer? This isn't. It was going that way.
I'm just happy that
I am too
because of how popular. I mean, when you're on your college football is the second most popular sport in America.
The first is professional football.
Right. So when they are making billions and billions of dollars, there's entire networks dedicated to divisions of college football, and these kids can't make money off their names when they're household names. They're known across the country. That's fucking bullshit.
That's messed up, yeah.
The argument that it's like, okay, so the argument people against this was like, well, how do you pay everybody the same? How do you pay everybody fairly? And now we're not even just talking like the difference between paying male athletes and female athletes. Like we're not even talking about that.
Individual.
We're talking about like the same athletes on the same team. It's just like, well, how do you rectify like paying all these athletes equally? It's like that's fucking life.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody's paid equally.
What about the professional football?
Professional,
yeah,
nobody
literally
gets
the same
paid-
thing. Yeah.
Nobody gets paid equally in sports. Like you
no, not even
earn
just
it.
in sports.
Right.
There
Or
are
anything,
people.
yeah.
There are people. There's 4 people in your studio at iHeart, so you're all at iHeart. Are you all
That's a
paid the
very
same?
good point. Yes.
No, you're not all paid the same.
Yeah.
You know, like it's, there's 3 of us in here. We're not all paid the same.
Right. Yeah.
That's just life.
But there's ways you can help them. Subscribe to Tommy.
Yep.
At Tommy LC, TOMMILC on OnlyFans, and then at AJ DeCamamo. At AJ DeCasimo. Just follow him on also OnlyFans. He's getting a little boisterous.
I was actually thinking about it. I was thinking about doing the OnlyFans thing. I get Jack.
You're very close there with the shaving cream.
Way, could we talk about? I know that people aren't listening. I posted.
Let's talk about Slut Man.
I get naked, cover myself in shaving cream, sing songs on my guitar, and post
Really
videos
well.
to various.
Yeah.
I nailed mine today. I thought.
Yeah, I didn't even know that song though.
Oh, I love that song.
I don't know that song.
Oh,
But
it's a
I
good
liked
one.
it. It was
Yeah.
good. I watched it all.
It's by Wilco. It's called.
Okay.
Do you take requests of songs?
I have
That's
taken
what
requests.
you should do.
Yeah, I have taken
you
requests.
You should do a story where you take requests and say like, "What would you like, Slut Man to sing next?"
Yeah, the engagement helps, and then you
Yeah.
actually get like different
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's good. I
those.
like that.
I'm so smart.
So there you go. Subscribe to Tommy on OnlyFans and tell Slut Man what to sing next.
What you'd like to hear me sing?
All right, you're joking.
Is it my joke?
Yeah.
No, I did the Boy Scouts one.
I just did this LeBron James.
Oh,
one.
you did just do the LeBron James one.
We're going a little quick.
In court, Britney Spears' dad says he did everything in his power to support and care for her after her explosive court testimony. He went on to say, "I'm extremely upset by this, and in fact, I'm going to have her doctor increase her lithium." Dude, I had no idea.
Depressing. It's insane. I've known for a while.
Well, I mean,
I've known.
I knew there was like something. I had no idea like that this was like a Brian Wilson Beach Boys thing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow, she was in prison for 10 years.
Yeah, and her Instagram is like
It's
basic.
terrifying.
It's so sad.
It's so
because
so
she's
sad.
basically got like cabin fever.
Right.
And so she basically uses her Instagram to just try and connect with people, but she'll have like 3-day old eyeliner
Makeup
on
that's,
and
like,
just
all over.
Yeah, she like
and doing these weird
weird
moves, like going
dances,
off
yeah.
the screen, then back on the
Yeah,
screen.
it's very strange.
It's heartbreaking. It's so sad.
Oh my God, she's like, this is like,
honestly, I don't think it's also helped.
Wait, what?
But I don't think it like the way she's been acting.
Oh
on
no,
Instagram,
not at all. It's
it do-
probably making the
Yeah,
situation
it does
seem worse.
Not look good when they go like, does this seem like a person that could be in control of their own life?
Right. Yeah.
well, it doesn't seem like her dad should be the custodian either. Wasn't her sister her guardian for a while?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And was she like kind of
I
being
think she's
shitty?
a fuck too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Most
Well,
positive.
I don't think she was because I think it's been her dad.
No,
the
because
whole
I think
time.
like
it
Brittany
was her
and
sister.
her sister
But her-
have like
Well, her sister just
Instagram beef and stuff
Well,
like
her
that.
her sister just made like a post that like I support my sister and I want her to be happy.
No, her sister, I think up until like a couple years ago, was actually her custodial guardian.
Okay, I'm not.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, we could look that up.
Yeah.
It would be
But
weird to give it to her the younger sister. I feel like because she is younger, so I don't know. You can look that up if you want, but it's very unsettling watching her and just
she was like the biggest star in the world.
right
Oh, yeah.
now. There are weird things like I saw this TikTok and this lady's like, "Oh, Britney!" Like the left is cheering for Britney, wanting her to be free, able to go where she wants, in charge of her own body, in charge of her own medication, blah blah blah. Oh, look, you're actually Republicans. Like, have you ever heard of women's rights?
Yes,
Have you ever heard
right.
of reproductive rights? This is not a situation that Republicans have a great track record on, you dum-dum.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I saw somebody like shared that, and I didn't even like comment. I just blocked that person.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't.
I'm all about
understand this.
freeing Britney. I
Yeah,
don't think
she should be
has-
free.
I don't
Absolutely.
think she's seen her kids. Has she?
I don't think so.
Where's Kevin Federline been?
I think
He's
he's been
all-
gone a while.
Yeah.
Oh, really? See out of the
I think
picture?
so.
Yeah, he's been out of the picture for a while, but she's got like a new guy. But she has an IUD in that she
They
can't
won't
remove.
take. They won't let her
Like
take
she
it
wants to
out.
have more kids, and they won't let her not have an IUD, which is really fucking
That's
weird.
so fucked up to me. That's that's
yeah.
creepy. Ugh.
The entire thing's bizarre.
Yeah. I'm glad.
I've
I'm
done my
poor.
part though because I never listened to her music or paid attention to her, so
No?
I didn't create the monster.
Right.
Like
No.
it was. I did my part of just being aloof from the Britney Spears situation.
She was
This-
great.
I mean, she was to people, but it just. I mean, I was 16 when she came
Yeah,
out.
you were
So
a
like,
little older
I thought
for-
she was hot, but I didn't care about her music at all.
Right.
It wasn't my thing, but I remember her being the biggest star
No,
in the
I
world.
absolutely
sure.
know that, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
I didn't like buy her CDs or care about her. Like if somebody was like, "Oh, the new Britney Spears," is out, I'm like, "Okay." And again, like I didn't be like, "Oh, she sucks." Shit
just
or
didn't
anything.
care.
I just didn't, it just didn't
Yeah.
have anything to do
Were
with
you
my
into
life.
her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Her, Christina.
I like
TLC.
Christina.
Yeah.
I like Christina.
I just was never like pop music.
No.
Like I know a lot of the songs though, just because they're on so constantly.
Right.
Like all the like Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys and Sing Christina. Like I know those songs, but I never like leaned into it. I thought like my girlfriend when I was a senior was really into the Backstreet Boys. She was like junior. She was a sophomore, and she like went to the concert, and I was like disgusted. I'm like that's a band for little children.
Oh yeah.
And you went to
Yeah.
see them, and she's like, they're so hot and so good. And I'm like, are you 11 years old? I don't know if I handled that situation great, but hey, whatever. I don't ever really. All my life leads to heartbreak.
Well,
But I did go on a date, and it was good. That's all I'm going to say about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But I told you guys a little more.
you told us. You went
Yeah.
into some details.
Yeah.
Maybe you told her a little bit more. With me, it was very like, yeah.
I'll tell you more afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I kind of went through the whole thing with Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I share with what you told?
Yeah.
So I texted. When did you guys go out? Saturday.
a
Friday
You went
night.
on Friday. I texted you Saturday afternoon. I was like, "How'd your date go last night?" You were like, "Good, we fucked," and that was it.
That's how he replied to me too.
Yeah, like how he was like, "I told you guys
He goes-
a little more."
Yeah, he goes,
And he
"It-
was like, "Great, we
Right,
fucked."
but then I kind of laid
And
out
then-
like
yeah.
how it all went
He
down.
goes, we fucked. It was good. And I said, I'm happy for you. Like, what's the deeds? But yeah,
Well, then I
We
said I volunteered. I'm like, "Do you want the details?" And she's like, "Tell me everything."
everything.
Yeah, with me it was just like, how was your day go? Good, we fucked. Oh, nice. He's just like, you watching the Bucks game tonight?
It was a good date. That's nice.
That's awesome.
All right,
funny.
my turn for a joke.
Yeah.
The 2020 Cy Young winner. Oh wait, no, I'll go to this one first. Also, I'll have an Allison Mack joke. Former Smallville actor Allison Mack has been sentenced to 3 years in federal prison for sex trafficking connected to the cult she was a part of. Mack commented, "Somebody save me!" That's the theme song
Smallville.
from
Yes.
Smallville.
Yeah. That was a great show.
It was the first 4 seasons were great.
But that's for most
decent.
shows.
Yeah.
That's for
Yeah,
most
yeah.
shows. It's the first 4
For-
seasons.
The first 4 seasons were great, but then like I remember once they got out of high school and like he was zooming back and forth between Metropolis and like was in college and there was like a vampire sorority and shit like that. I'm like, all right, this is
Yeah, getting
they're a
corny.
little stretchy.
Little
Yeah.
CWE.
Well, it was I mean, it was CW all through.
Oh, was
but
it?
it was good.
Okay, yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
I
Never
liked
mind.
all those CW shows. I was big into Dawson's Creek, man.
Really?
I
Really?
love Dawson's Creek, man.
I'm a
never
little
liked
young
it.
for those.
I never liked
Just a
anything.
smidge, like barely a little bit.
Well, I mean, you're only a year younger than me.
Yeah, but like I don't know.
I mean,
She's a
I
little
guess
too
it was.
straight for it. I guess.
I guess. I guess it was catered more to your age group. Dawson's Creek.
It
was
probably was, but it was one thing that like I didn't like any serious television whatsoever.
No, no.
There was not like one dramatic show that I watched as a kid. Like even like people would like love X-Files. I'm like, guys, there's comedy on right now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was just all comedy all the time.
What was your favorite show when you were a
The
teenager?
Simpsons,
The
and
Simpsons.
then like Futurama when that came on. I love South Park. I love Family Guy. A lot of cartoon stuff, but then also like Seinfeld and Cheers and just
So
Fresh Prince of Bel Air,
comedies, though,
just
yeah.
comedies
Yeah.
and like Mr. Show, just like Monty Python sketch, like Saturday Night Live, like anything that was funny. Kids in the Hall, like I just wanted
Oh, Kids in the
Yeah.
Hall was so good. Dude.
that all the time. I'd watch stand up all the time. Like
Mm.
I just liked comedy, and then I watch a lot of movies, like
Mm.
comedy movies again and again. Like I started getting more into like in high school, started getting more into like serious movies. So that was like my bridge into like
That was
dramatic shows.
that was your bridge to Terabithia.
Yes, and which is not a funny movie.
No, it's not.
But my first like dramatic show that I really got into was The Shield.
Oh, that was.
I never watched it, which I don't know why I haven't watched
The
it
Shield
yet.
is one of the best shows.
So you weren't in The Sopranos?
No, I wasn't into that. I only just
so
recently
good.
watched The Sopranos. So I just finished watching that like a few months ago.
Did you see The Sopranos?
Yeah, I need to rewatch it. Though.
Yeah, because there's the movie coming out.
Ooh, wait.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
prequel. It's about how Tony Soprano's rise.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and Tony Soprano's played by his James Gandolfini's son, Michael.
Oh.
And he looks just like him, like a young
That's what
Tony,
made me
and he's great.
cry.
The Sopranos theme is like the best.
So good.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, dude, it's awesome.
This morning.
Got yourself a gun.
Yeah, I started off with The Sopranos and was like, I don't know if I like this that much.
Ugh,
because
good.
like it's so dated at 1st. And you can tell they didn't really have a budget in the first season. But then it like the characters draw you in, and then like I fully went into it. I fucking love that show.
We're talking about HBO shows. I love the Larry Sanders Show.
Didn't watch.
That's a good show.
Oh, it's so
It's a
funny.
very. You know what? I still never watched it all the way through though.
It's so
I'm
good.
working on it.
It's so good.
but it's
so good.
a very funny show, and that's one of those shows that like set the table for so. And he did this in so many ways.
Gary Shandling
Shandling.
is on my Mount Rushmore of my favorite comics ever.
I wish it's the Gary Shandling show was somewhere
Yeah.
because that was like
You could probably find it somewhere.
he had a show in the 80s. It was a sitcom, but it was like it was a very meta, like inside joke sitcom where like there's one episode where he gets stuck in a well making fun of a girl baby Jessica who got stuck in a well.
Yeah.
And so he spends the entire episode stuck in a well, and like sitcoms didn't do shit like that back then.
Right,
Like
yeah.
it set the table for like South Park and all that stuff to like parody what was going on in the news.
Right. Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, Gary Shandling.
Gary Shandling was
so
great.
dude.
But even like his character on Larry Sanders Show, where he plays a talk show host on that, and like all his insecurities and his inability to like maintain relationships. It's so, it's autobiographical mostly.
Yeah. And the relationships between those characters were just so good.
Yeah.
They were so good.
It's so good, and so like it walked that line of comedy and drama.
Okay.
It was like, I think, the first single cam comedy.
I mean, I don't know if it's definitely the first like HBO single cam comedy.
Well, I think that was.
but
I
it
think
might
that was
have
the
been,
first.
yeah.
I think that's the first HBO original.
Yeah,
I think is the Gary Shandling or is it the Larry Sanders Show? I think that's the first HBO original.
it's definitely like a groundbreaking show, and that show set the table for things like Arrested Development and The Office.
Okay, yeah.
And even though it's not documentary style, but it did.
Yeah.
It set the table for them to like. We don't just have to do this 3-camera sitcom thing.
Yeah.
So
It's a good show.
it's a great show. All right,
It's my joke.
your joke. Is this your last one already?
This is my last one. Yeah. I only have 4 this week.
I think I might just do 4 too.
Fire.
Okay.
Because one, I have a fifth one that is not that great.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do it. I'll do them both. I'll just do them
right.
back to back.
Former Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld died earlier today, but based on the information people close to him have given in the past, it's hard to be sure. There are known unknowns.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
I mean, I know he died, but also, yeah, fuck that guy.
I'm glad he's dead.
Did you ever watch Vice, the Dick Cheney movie?
No, I
No.
haven't seen it.
Oh, it's great.
I hear
it's
it.
really
I hear
good.
it is. I hear it's
Yeah.
good. I hear it's really good.
I don't have a lot to say about Donald Rumsfeld, so I'll do these 2 jokes pretty quick, and I think the last one will lead to a good discussion. The 2020 Cy Young winner, Dodgers pitcher and former drone fingerer Trevor Bauer has been accused of sexual assault by a former sexual partner. In the deposition, the woman said Bauer punched her in the face, vagina, and buttocks and stuck his finger so far down her throat she couldn't breathe and lost consciousness several times. Cy Young must be rolling over in his grave.
Wow. I did not hear all those things about Trevor Bauer.
Yeah,
I did hear that he got accused, but wow.
Yeah.
Why
like
would you punch
cracked her skull? Like they were into rough sex, and she's like, "This isn't rough sex. This is fucking abuse."
Beating
Yeah.
me? Yeah. What
Wow.
the hell?
Yeah. So
That's
that's
crazy.
What would you're gonna punch her in the butt? Like what?
Like the butt out of all
like,
places.
okay, so
That's probably like the best place to punch somebody.
I-
yeah,
like,
to be
probably
punched.
hurt. Right.
Yeah,
to be.
it's a good place to be punched.
Right.
Like I'd rather be punched in the butt than anywhere else.
but where's the? I mean, obviously, this isn't. I'm not trying to make light of the situation.
But he also punched the vagina too.
Yeah, that's weird too. That's
Yeah, no, I understand, but like at least I can like wrap my mind around punching a woman in the vagina in a weird way. And I'm not. When I say that, I don't want to like condone it.
Yeah.
Like because
I
like
mean, fisting,
Yeah, like
like,
fisting.
people
I mean,
fist
it's not
and it's
punching.
But it's
Right.
Fisting's
It's
not
punching
punching.
through.
Right, but it's just
It's
like
punching through.
bah.
Right. I mean, would you uppercut or?
Everyone's like, "Hey, babe, bend
I think
over."
you're doing little jabs.
Okay, a little,
Right.
little jab.
It's like, "Hey, I'm gonna punch you in the butt." Like it's just a
That seems like
ridiculous.
what little kids thought sex was.
Right.
It's
Yes.
just like, hey, what's sex? It's like, oh, it's when a man and a woman they punch each other in the butt. Like, what would compel you to do that? And I'm not like kink shaming. Like, if people are like into butt punching,
But like, again,
this is assault we're
this
talking
is
about.
assault.
It
Yeah,
is.
this crossed the line of consensual sex and went into
Yeah.
abuse. So it's sounds like that's not cool. In Cy Young, I don't know if he was, but he was around in the early like 1900s. I'm sure.
I'm
punched
sure
some butts.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
That's the joke of it, was that like he probably did reprehensible things and be like, this guy does not represent my award.
I think you're confusing Ty Cobb and Cy Young. Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, Ty
You're
Cobb.
right, you're
Yeah,
right.
Ty Cobb
Ty
sounds
Cobb was
like
a piece of shit. Yeah,
sounds
that's
like
the
a
one.
man that would punch butts.
All right.
Cy Young, I'm like, I've never heard a bad thing about Cy Young.
Fuck. You know what? You're right. Ty Cobb, that's the one. That's the one I was looking for.
Yeah, Ty Cobb. Yeah, I think that's the one.
Well,
I'm sorry, man.
no, that's I'm okay to be corrected because I got to delete a tweet.
I mean, no, I'm sure Cy Young was still a racist for the time.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
mean,
sure he was
wa-
punching butts.
I'm sure he was a butt puncher.
it's all right. It wasn't that good of a tweet, so I'm fine with doing that.
Are you doing it right now?
I was trying to, but I can't even get things to load because Twitter's stupid. All right, last joke. Blink-182 frontman Mark Hoppus has made headlines after opening up about cancer treatment he's undergone. Hoppus says the treatments have helped him realize life is short and motivated him to cross things off his bucket list, like finally learning to play bass.
I love
man.
Blink-182.
I do
That's
too.
so
Blink's
sad.
cool. That does suck, man.
I'm,
It's weird because like we are kind of like approaching an age now where like people we admire and look up to are dying, and it's not that weird.
Yeah.
Like we're just kind of like, oh, really? They're that like, oh, yeah. Hoppus has cancer. I mean,
Yeah.
he's probably what 50? Like,
No, I don't think so.
He's
Not
probably close to 50.
Probably
Really?
close to
I think
50.
he's 49.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
I think
Okay.
Alan said that Alan's 50 and he thought Mark Hoppus was older than him, but he thinks he's 49.
Okay.
yeah. Like, I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, he don't agree. He's too young to die, but like if he dies, I wouldn't be like he died young.
Oh, I would.
that's still pretty
50
young.
fuck
No,
50's young.
50's young, but I mean,
50's
he
dying
had
young.
life. He had some life.
He didn't die the youngest, but that's dying young
No,
still.
I understand. Yeah, he
What's the cutoff?
He died young, but he wasn't. Okay, so I'm trying to think about how I want to word this. Like,
No,
He
I
lived a good
know what you're
life?
saying. He
Yeah.
lived a good life. He had great
he had
experiences.
right. He got to be in Blink. He
Yeah.
got to kind of. But when you're 50, if you have kids, your kids are probably kind of older, and you got to see them grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
Alan has a 5-year-old.
No, I
Yeah.
understand.
Some people wait till later in their life
No,
to have
I
the
get
kids.
it.
so.
I understand. I'm generalizing, but it's just
I
kind
think anything before retirement age is dying young.
it is.
I
But
work in
like,
hospice, and I say like 75
Is
is young.
young, yeah.
Yeah.
right? No, I get that, and I'm not.
It's
No,
okay,
I know.
man. You don't
I
have
know
a
what
soul.
you
you're
know what I
saying.
mean? Where
Yeah.
it's just like it's not like we're watching a 23-year-old pass
Right.
away.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Where it's just like, okay, you got to live life. You got to kind of enjoy kind of the fruits of life. Because when you're 50, the end is closer to than the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just kind of like at least you crossed that threshold.
yeah.
That's funny.
But I mean, he is too young to die. He's,
What you said is not funny. I just looked at Twitter and somebody said something about Cosby that was funny. Someone said, I'll give him credit. Alex Price, who is Alex Price Indeed on Twitter, said, heard Cosby is moving to Austin, which is kind of funny because that's like where the canceled comedians can thrive.
that's right.
Yes,
It's
yes,
an Austin.
Yeah.
Canceled is in like they're still doing giant tours and making a ton of money.
Right, but yeah.
I was talking to somebody about that. Nobody's ever really canceled.
Right.
Oh no.
Well, let's try and figure out who
Andy
it is.
Dick got arrested today.
Andy Dick
Today?
gets arrested every day.
No, but like, he beat the shit. I tried writing a joke about it. He like beat up his lover.
What?
He like hit his lover with a steel chair. His lover's name's Lucas, I think. And Andy Dick hit him with a metal chair.
Metal chair.
In the old WWE.
I know,
trend.
it's the most Andy Dick thing you've ever heard.
Smell what Andy Dick's cooking.
It sounds like a kink.
All right. Well, I think the harmonica has cued the end of the show
The
today.
end of it all.
Thank you for checking out the Bill Squire Show. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Also, don't forget to check out the Alan Cox Show. Follow Tommy on Instagram and on OnlyFans at Tommy, TOMMILC. And then follow AJ on Twitter and Instagram at AJ DeCosimo.
I'm going to change my Twitter handle to @.
Damn, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to add it right now.
And that's all. Thanks for listening, guys.
Goodbye.
Oh, you know what? And just for good measure, listen to the Pound Take podcast as well.
Oh, shit.
Look at all that cross promotion.
Yes, so much.
This is the Bill Squire Show.